Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, a person hit and killed by a car in Raleigh. What we know about what happened as police investigate that scene.
And once we get through some scattered morning showers, it is a warm Christmas day with temperatures 65 to 70 degrees. We'll walk you through when we see these showers passing through and when you can get outside.
Plus, Christmas travel. People are on the roads and at the airport on their way to their holiday destinations. Giving you a live look at both RDU and I-40. We're tracking the conditions on this Christmas morning. Speaking of which, Merry Christmas. Thanks for joining us. I'm Destiny Patterson. Chris Michaels is in the WRAL Severe Weather Center. And Chris, the good news is Santa didn't have to dodge any showers on his way to drop off any gifts last night. But we might see a couple this morning.
Exactly, yeah. So at least it was timed out conveniently for Santa and his team of reindeer. Rocky Mount's at 44, Durham and Raleigh at 50 degrees. We have a stray shower that's moving a little bit closer to Durham right now. So, yeah, I mean, dual Doppler 5000 just getting in the Christmas spirit with some greens and reds there. Stray shower around Chapel Hill, Scarborough, and just south of Hillsborough. That'll start to ride into Durham here within the next few minutes. More showers off toward the north by 6 a.m. You'll see those in parts of Granville, Vance, and Warren counties with temperatures in the 40s. Here we go toward about 9 o'clock in the morning. Most of our showers will stay north and east of the triangle. Midday temperatures in the 50s, and then once we get rid of the rain, temperatures make it into the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. But a much cooler Friday. We'll show you what's causing that temperature change coming up in a few minutes.
Right now, police in Raleigh are investigating after a person was hit and killed by a car. That crash happened around 1:30 this morning on Tryon Road near the Dillard Drive intersection. Allie Caldabar is there in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. Allie, there are still some police officers there looking at the scene.
And just within the past 20 minutes, Destiny officers have picked up at least 6 evidence markers. But we want to point you to this car. You can see that that car appears to be the one that crashed into a pedestrian. You can see that windshield is bashed in. We're also seeing that this intersection, Tryon Road and Dillard Drive, is shut down at the moment. It's blocked off by police tape. But we want to take you to this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. It shows that heavy response police tape lining the intersection. We're also seeing multiple evidence markers. The crash happened around 1:30 this morning. That's when police told us the pedestrian who was hit was seriously hurt. But about an hour later, police told us that a man had died. We're also told the driver stayed on the scene and no charges have been filed. But police are investigating. It looks like they just wrapped up some of their investigation process. They've picked up all of the evidence markers. We're working to find out the identity of the person who died in this crash. Reporting live in Raleigh, Allie Cadlabar, WRAL News.
Thanks, Allie. We'll check back in with you in a bit. Keeping an eye on the sky today, we're giving you a live look at RDU, where today is expected to be one of the quieter days of the holidays. Right now, there are 2 delays and no cancellations there. Also giving you a live look at the roads right now. You're looking at I-40 at Carytown Boulevard. Right now, there aren't very many cars out there. AAA predicts there won't be a lot of traffic on the roads today, as most holiday travelers are already at their destinations. That's expected to change tomorrow, though. AAA says Friday could be one of the busiest days on the roads of the entire holiday season. Now, the cost of gas is down from what it was last Christmas. Today, the average price for a gallon in Raleigh is $2.77. If you're traveling to Greensboro, it's $2.74, and in Charlotte, you'll pay $2.61. You can count on WRAL to help you navigate all things holiday travel this week and into your new year. You can keep track of flight disruptions, traffic, and weather conditions on the WRAL News app. It's free to download. A Johnston County family will be out of their home for Christmas after a large fire. Take a look. This is video from Sky 5 showing the extensive damage to the house on Elevation Road near Benson. That fire broke out before 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. You can see that heavy smoke there. Family members tell us 2 people were inside at the time the home, and no one was hurt. Several fire departments responded to put out that fire. Two men accused of shooting at each other inside of a Walmart in Wilson are now facing charges of attempted first-degree murder. 19-year-old Ashton Pittman and 30-year-old Jordan Battle are both being held at the Wilson County Jail without bond. They're due in court on Monday. Police say 3 people were involved in the incident that happened just before 11 a.m. yesterday morning. Officers say Pittman and Battle fired at each other inside of a barbershop at the store. The Walmart was evacuated. You can see all of those people there. A couple of shoppers talked to us about that chaotic scene.
It was a lot of people just standing there because I don't think a lot of people was aware that people were shooting. But I guess once people did, everybody started running out the back. So, yeah, it was chaotic. It was chaotic.
Oh, my God, it was terrifying. The worst things is to have somebody scared and running because the only thing I could think of was my child.
Police say no one was hurt. That Walmart closed for the rest of the day after that shooting. It's expected to reopen tomorrow. Family and friends of Julia Toon are remembering that 13-year-old girl after she was shot and killed in Goldsboro over the weekend. They gathered last night for a Christmas Eve vigil in her honor. Julia died Sunday after she was shot on Alpha Court. 3 teenage boys, 2 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old, are charged with murder. Julia's grandmother says the family is still struggling to come to terms with that loss.
This is not right. My granddaughter's supposed to be here. She's the life of the party. Everybody knows her.
Julia's mother says she's going to push for solutions to gun violence in Goldsboro. The Toon family has started a GoFundMe to help with funeral expenses. You can find a link to that on our website, WRAL.com. Happening today, the Durham Rescue Mission will distribute gifts to homeless men at its campus. The mission will host a Christmas breakfast for the men this morning at 8. Then at 8:30, they'll pass out gifts from their wish tree. The Rescue Mission is Durham's oldest and largest long-term homeless shelter. And if you still need to do some holiday shopping, you'll find many stores are closed today. Walmart, Target, and Costco are all closed today. So are Harris Teeter, Publix, and Trader Joe's, among some other grocery stores. Stores you'll find that are open include CVS and Walgreens. Convenience stores, including Sheetz and 7-Eleven, those are also open. You can find a full list on our website, WRAL.com. New this morning, a Powerball player in Arkansas has a very big Christmas gift to celebrate. One ticket holder won the $1.8 billion jackpot in last night's drawing. Someone in North Carolina won $100,000 in that drawing. Here are those numbers. They're 4, 25, 31, 52, and 59. The Powerball was 19. The jackpot is now back to $20 million for the next drawing. You can watch that Saturday night at 11 here on WRAL. A nonprofit organization in Raleigh is giving out hope with hot meals this holiday season. The Helping Hand mission served hundreds of hot meals to people in need yesterday on Christmas Eve. Volunteers packed what they're calling love boxes with a typical holiday spread. They also gave out toys, clothing, and had a marching band perform live music. Many volunteers say that people rely on these meals more than just once a year.
You know, we see a lot of people come out on holidays, but making it a point that we do it more than just the holidays.
We cook with love. Anytime we cook with love.
Organizers say donations and volunteers are always welcome. The man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. is now facing federal charges that could carry the death penalty. Ramanullah Lockenwall is now charged with federal firearms charges. He's an Afghan refugee. He's accused of killing Army Specialist Sarah Beckstrom and seriously wounding Air Force Staff Sergeant Andrew Wolf in last month's shooting. His next hearing is scheduled for January 2nd. There are more law enforcement officers out on the road and highways right now. The holiday Booze It and Lose It campaign started last week. The annual campaign runs through January 4th. More patrols will be on the roads to enforce impaired driving laws. A heads up for trash and recycling service around the Triangle this week. The city of Raleigh government offices will be closed for Christmas. Curbside pickup that falls on Thursday or Friday will be pushed back one day for the rest of the week. The same goes for surrounding towns, including Holly Springs, Cary, and Apex. You can check your town's holiday collection calendar for more details. Now, if you live in Wake County, your Christmas trees can be turned into mulch when you're done with them. That mulch is used for park trails across the county. The program runs through January 31st at 8 drop-off locations. Recycling is free, but be sure to remove those decorations first. The convenience centers are open every day from 7 to 7. Boosting business. Leaders in Holly Springs are hoping to attract more people to the fast-growing town. The changes you can expect to see downtown. Plus, empty classroom seats. Student absences are at an all-time high in North Carolina. How remote learning could be to blame and the possible consequences for your student. Plus, it's a warm Christmas morning, giving you a live look at Goldsboro. Look at all of those twinkling lights out there. It looks beautiful. Meteorologist Chris Michaels shows us which areas will creep close to 70 degrees today and when you could see some showers.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
444, Merry Christmas as we start you out with your travel forecast this morning. Just tracking some showers there, pretty isolated in nature. Most of these will be near into the north of US 64. By 10 a.m., we're in the low 50s. Heading into tomorrow, if you plan on heading up north, that's where we could see some travel delays as we see a winter storm affecting parts of New York, Pennsylvania, maybe a little bit of a mix as far south as Baltimore and D.C. The pink is where you see freezing rain, especially in parts of Michigan, Pennsylvania, western New York. The blue is where you see some decent snow accumulation. They're forecasting more than 4 inches in areas north of New York City. That doesn't really start until tomorrow afternoon into the evening. Doesn't necessarily affect our weather here at home, but we will be cooler. I'll show you why temperatures drop by nearly 20 degrees between today and tomorrow. Coming up.
A man is in the hospital after he was shot by a police officer during a breaking and entering call. This happened in Greensboro on Tuesday night. Police say they tried to arrest the man for breaking and entering, but he wouldn't comply. That's when they say there was a struggle and an officer shot the man. The officer has been placed on administrative leave. That's normal in cases like this. Holly Springs is looking beyond the busy holiday shopping season. The town is rolling out new projects aimed at boosting its main street. They include a study for more on street parking, more walkable housing units, and designs for a festival street. Local business owners say the improvements can't come soon enough as the southern Wake County town continues to grow.
It helps to attract more businesses to the area. It helps to attract more residents that want to move here. It's not growth for the sake of growth. It's a little more measured and a little more deliberate that we're trying to build a tighter community through all that growth.
At a recent town council workshop, staff said there were 600 new businesses registered in Holly Springs last year. Missing too much school can hurt a student's test scores, even in the age of online assignments that can be completed from home. WRAL's education insider Emily Walkenhorst explains how researchers are picking up on the cultural shift in school attendance.
In the past couple of years, 1 in 4 North Carolina students has missed at least 10% of school days. That's way up from before the COVID-19 pandemic. Ethan Hutt is an associate professor at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He's a co-author of a recent study on absenteeism.
We're seeing really, really large numbers of absences.
Hutt has a few theories as to why. He thinks people stopped valuing school attendance as much after learning remotely during the pandemic. Many course materials are online now.
My personal view is that it's a cultural shift.
He says absences are up even among kindergartners. So he and other researchers looked into whether absences had the same effect on academics now that they did before the pandemic. They found that absences have roughly the same negative effect on test scores.
Parents shouldn't think, oh, well, the stuff is online, my student can catch up. You're going to see the accumulative effect of these absences on student test scores.
Hutt thinks education leaders and policymakers need to better communicate the consequences of poor attendance to families, but also come up with new ways to help students get to school, such as thinking about how a student in a rural area can get to school if they've missed their bus.
This is a place where we will see a return on our investment. We know that if a student is there in school, they're going to do better than if they're not.
Emily Walkenhorst, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Now, schools have started many efforts during and immediately after the pandemic using federal pandemic stimulus dollars that are now gone. Some are offering rewards for good attendance, and others have turned to punishing students for poor attendance or referring them and their families to court. A woman in Gary whose home caught fire last week says she and her kids are still looking for a place to stay. She says she was home alone when an accidental grease fire started. Her townhome on Green Gate Court had significant damage, and it's currently not livable. The Red Cross is helping her and her children navigate what to do, but she says she lost everything planned for Christmas. Another hospital system in our area is increasing restrictions because so many people are getting sick with respiratory viruses. Starting tomorrow, Cape Fear Valley Health isn't allowing children under 12 to visit patients. The hospital system is also limiting visitors in the waiting room for the emergency department. The patient has to be at least 65 or have a cognitive disability. People also need to wear masks in the waiting room. Similar restrictions are in place in Wakeman. Right now, children under the age of 12 are not allowed to visit patients in hospital nursing units, care areas, or waiting rooms. Hospital management says this is so vulnerable patients can be protected and so that the spread of the illness can slow down. Authorities are urging people in San Bernardino County, California, to stay in their homes because of widespread flooding. Take a look. This is video of that water surging and flooding a road. Another storm system is expected to drop more heavy rain there today. I mean, that is just incredible video that we're seeing there out of California. Obviously, we're expecting a little bit of rainfall here in our area, but nothing like we're seeing there. Not even remotely.
Not even remotely close. No, they saw several inches on top of burn scars, so that's where the flooding comes from there. But right now in Chapel Hill, you see some of that rain falling down. It's falling down pretty steadily in Chapel Hill and moving toward parts of Durham County as well. And you can see that right over Durham and heading toward Morrisville, toward the airport. This is a quick hitting little round of rain. And then as you back up the view a little bit more, you see a couple more of these batches of showers up toward Roanoke, Virginia, near Galax and Hillsville in Virginia as well. So we'll see these mostly targeting areas near and north of I-40 up until about 10 o'clock this morning. This is why meteorologists Mike Mays, Amy Wilmoth, and myself have had this 30% chance of rain in the forecast, again, up until about 10 or 11 o'clock, maybe a stray shower heading into the afternoon. But the overall trend is going to be once that little bit of rain clears, you're on your way to a very warm Christmas day. Raleigh 69, Clinton 71 degrees, South Hill at 67, so there will be plenty of time to get outside. And you won't need the jacket for any evening plans. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s and lower 60s, but you will need the jacket heading into tomorrow as we're now north of a front that moves through tonight. So temperatures will be in the 40s and lower 50s. That drifts back to the north, so we're warmer by Saturday. Sunday, a high temperature near 60 degrees, and by Monday in the 60s with a few showers passing through. Once that cold front passes east of the area, we'll turn colder by Tuesday with lows 25 to 30 degrees. And the winter feel continues into New Year's Eve. Just a winter feel, though, no wintry precipitation. So here's your 7-day forecast today. One of the warmest days of the next 7 with highs again in the upper 60s. Not necessarily feeling like Christmas Day out there. Tomorrow, much cooler. There's that temperature ping pong going back and forth for the weekend. And then we're back in the 20s for morning lows next Tuesday and New Year's Eve morning. Destiny?
Temperature ping pong, that's right. Thanks, Chris. Reunited for the holidays, a cat that disappeared during Halloween returns home after more than a year. How her family got her back just in time for Christmas. Plus, the biggest solves of 2025. And the next hour, how 5 on Your Side made a big difference this year.